Hey everybody, welcome to my latest creation, my latest update actually. This is Austin Powers, the legendary remake. Now before I go any further, I just want to say that this video is sponsored by
Big Fat Titties!
Big Fat Titties. So what I wanted to do here is to make sure that this game is not woke in any way, shape or form. Okay? Most of everything in the world now is woke. This theme, this table, and me, but definitely not woke. So this game is a celebration of the 1960s, which includes lots and lots of free sex, free love, free drugs, and this, that, and the other. So I'm not afraid to show women looking incredibly beautiful and incredibly sexy, as they were in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and then all of a sudden the whole world went, nope, we're not having that anymore, no more of that. And so this is the artwork on the side, which I've updated. You don't actually see this, unless you're playing in VR, you don't actually see this, but I thought I'd just do an updated cab art, coin door art, again with the sexy ladies. And I've added just a couple of frames here to the arcade. So this is a closer look, which means I'm going to get really close and kind of explain all the things that I've done to this game to make it completely unique, a one of a kind, only ever be played for Future Pinball. It won't appear anywhere else. So it's a world exclusive only to Future Pinball. So this is the code, the apron that I did, a new apron. So that's the rule card. I just kept it very simple, so I just put the basics, pay attention. So you can pause that if you want to read what the game's all about. I added a warning laser there. The laser control is here with the action button, but the laser is used much more often in this game than it is on the original game. It seems like a wasted opportunity in the original game, so it does have more functionality. And obviously this game is made in the UK, as all my games are. More specifically, made in South Wales. A little town called Caerphilly in South Wales is where all my games are made. And that is the Tartan Torpedo. Now, a Scots person will know what a Tartan Torpedo is. Now, believe it or not, I was in the army for 10 years and I served for 2 years with the 1st Battalion, the Black Watch, which is a very famous Scottish regiment. So I served with those guys for 2 years. So I understand the Scots very, very well. In fact, my mum's Scottish, so I have lots of Scottish in me. And there he is. Where's your shitter? I've got a purple head popping out. It's actually poking out, not popping out, so I need to change that. There's another mistake as well. I think it's I changed it because I had it as Paddy O'Brien up there, and then I changed it back to Patty. It's actually Patty O'Brien, not Paddy. Anyway, enough of that. So as you can see, this is a beautiful looking game now. I spent a lot of time working on how this thing looks now, because it is a celebration of the 1960s, and so I wanted to add all those wonderful colors from the 60s. So you can see the sidewall artwork is now being redone. There's Liz Hurley looking incredibly sexy. And there's, of course, Heather Graham looking incredibly sexy. So, as you can see, this thing really pops. I've used the flowers all over the place. The thing about the 60s is they didn't really care about colours. They just used colours in everything and blended all kinds of colours together. I mean, it was a mishmash of colours, was the 60s. And that's what I've tried to reproduce here. And I think it's absolutely stunning as this game now, compared to what it did look like 100 years ago when it was first created by Stern. It looked like a child, literally like a child had done the playfield artwork. And I'll show you that as I come out of this and show you in the editor. So let's just go around the game and show you what I've done, which is completely brand new. So first of all, you'll see that the toilet is now gold plated. That's a celebration of a gold member who's now been added to the game. Previously it was porcelain. These models are a bit rubbish. I could probably do with upgrading these models sometime in the future, but they're fine for now. And of course you've got Dr. Evil there, whose little pinky there always breaks off. If you've got the real machine, you'll understand that pinky there is vulnerable to breakage. And another thing that's wrong with the real machine as well is this fat bastard toilet. It only goes in about 20% of the time. Most of the time it just pops back out again. In my game it's 100%. You make that shot, it goes in there 100% of the time. What else we got? We've got the climactic bumpers here. So this game has an adult mode, which you can switch on and off. It's on by default, but if you switch it off, you don't get climactic bumpers. Now what happens is the climactic bumpers will light when you hit them a certain number of times, and then you have to hit them when they're lit to bring a woman to orgasm. Yes, you heard me correctly. Bring a woman to orgasm. You can actually bring a woman to orgasm in this game. Yes, like I said, it's not woke in any way, shape or form. This is a very specific game about the 60s and free love and free everything. The main feature of the game is, of course, the fantastic time machine mechanic here. And this is the best mechanic that's ever been produced in any pinball game, ever. I swear to God, this is the very best mechanic ever, because what this does, this allows me to send the player to all kinds of different places in history. They can go to 1975, they can go to 1969, 2001, 1997, 1984, wherever I want to send them. And the great thing is that when the ball ejects and it starts the multi-ball, I can play a piece of music specific to that time period. So I can send the player back anywhere in history. At the moment, I only have 4 time zones in the game, but I could add many, many more. So that is a fantastic opportunity for me to play lots of great, massive licensed songs. And this game is full of 60s songs, feel-good 60s songs, like stuff from Petula Clark, the Beach Boys. I mean, you name it. I mean, this thing is loaded. I mean, if this game was made in the real world, it would cost many tens of millions of dollars just on the licensing alone. But we don't worry about that shit here at Future Pinball Studio, because we don't make any money. Okay, so, oh yeah, and the skill shot as well, the sexy skill shot. So the sexy skill shot is kind of like a super skill shot. The standard skill shot is just drop the ball into the lit lane there. But if you want to go for the sexy skill shot, you just do a soft plunge, the ball will drop there, it'll come down to the right flipper, and if you make that ramp shot there, which is sexy skill shot, you'll get the sexy skill shot, which then sets up the shagadelic skill shot. The ball will be fed into the laser launcher, and then you have to shoot the golden toilet, and that will complete the shagadelic skill shot. So, and that gives you a big reward, as you saw in the last video. So I wanted to add something a little bit extra, a little bit more interesting than just a standard drop the ball in the flashing lane. In fact, when you do it, Heather Graham's character will say, well, that was easy. And then Austin Powers says, yeah, that was easy. Just to kind of show you how easy that shot actually is. And you can't switch the lanes with the flippers, because that would be ridiculously easy. So that is everything in the game that I can think of for now. But what I'll do is I'll go in the editor and I'll show you some more stuff. So join me there in the editor. And here we are in the editor. So this is the game on the right window and the script on the left window. So the construction is here. You can see all the ramps here and the toilet, and then you can see the artwork that I created for the playfield. And there's the laser launcher, and on the right here is all the script. So this is where the magic happens, on the left. This is where all the genius is created. All the creativity is right here in the script. And what I've done at the beginning here is I've just written the rules as they are. So there's quite extensive list of things to read through. And a lot of this is brand new that you haven't seen before. It's not in the original Stern game. And full credit, of course, has to be given to Francisco666 and Rom, who did the original game for Future Pinball way back in the day. And then I took over and did a mod. And then I went crazy and did a legendary remake. So yeah, so everything that you can think of, or everything that I can think of that's in the movies is in this game. And I haven't seen all 3 of them recently. I'm working my way through the first one and putting stuff in from the first one. And then I've got to watch the second one again and the third one again. But it's been a long time since I've seen all 3 films. So at the moment, it's mostly focused on the first film, The International Man of Mystery. But I do need to watch the second film and the third film. And then it'll just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I haven't even added any movie clips yet. I just haven't found a place to stick them. But movie clips typically is the very last thing that I add, simply because they take up a lot of space. And when you load this thing, if you've got movie clips in there, it takes longer to load. So I always keep that as the last step of the process. So that's the adult mode there, you see. Turn it off, turn it on. So adult mode is turned on, left flipper turns it off. So everything can be done in the attract sequence. You can also change the amount of balls that you play with and other things as well. And there's a whole thing at the attract sequence as well that I created Yeah, so this is all the stuff that happens in the attract sequence, including me taking the piss out of VPX, taking the piss out of Pinball FX, taking the piss out of Real Pinball. I just say, this, see this phrase here is added here, and it just says sucks. So that's just me taking the piss out of my competitors. I don't really have a competitor, really. There is no competition as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, there's all kinds of funny things that happen in the attract sequence, and this is something that I always do in my games. Because why not? You know, I've got tons and tons of quotes that don't fit in the game. I've got to put them somewhere, so I stick them in the attract sequence. Also, this scoop here, which is where the mystery starts, and VirtuaCon and Moonbase, and where you get the extra ball. When that's not lit, that also gives me opportunities to do all kinds of crazy things as well. So I'll just have a look at that. I call it the Austin scoop. Scoop. There you go. This is the Austin scoop. So when that scoop there is hit, there's all kinds of things that happen right here. First of all, we deal with the functionality of anything that's lit. Anything that's lit, we deal with that. But then right down at the bottom, when nothing is lit, I start, messing about with all these extra things. There's only 13 variations of things to play when that is hit, when it's not lit. But I'll add more and more and more. There's just a lot of humor in this game. It's very funny little jokes. I think that's important for a game like this because it's a funny film. It's important that the game itself is as funny as the films themselves. Now the films are not always 100%. Sometimes they miss the mark. Mike Myers went a little too crazy sometimes. I think in the third film he went a little too far with Fat Bastard and a little too far with Goldmember. But he hit the mark with the first film and the second film pretty much. And then he went absolute batshit crazy with The Guru, which is just horrific. Sorry, Mike. That was a big mistake. So yeah, only the Fat Bastard stuff can get a little too annoying. So I've used him in moderation. And the same with Goldmember as well. He can be annoying. So I've used him in moderation. In moderation, these two characters are incredibly funny. But excessive use of both characters and they're just not funny. Okay, so that's the artwork there. And what I'll do now is I'll just show you the animations that I created. Now the animations are very, very basic. As you can see here, there's only 128 frames, which cover the whole game so far. And these are the animations for the arcade machine cabinet thing. You see, it just goes through its cycle. So what I'll do is I'll just show you these very quickly. So So it does help if the animator, the guy that does all the animations, is also the guy that does the playfield artwork and everything else, because it all matches, you see. This matches the playfield artwork perfectly, the cabinet artwork, everything matches. So the art style is exactly the same. So what I wanted to do very early on in the game is to make sure that every time a character spoke, their character card comes up, and then I added something funny in there. Swings both ways, baby. And it's the same for all of them, no dental insurance. So he's got like a funny expression and a confused expression based on the call out that I use. But that's the same for all characters. You've got Basil there, you've got Dr. Evil, Fat Bastard has 2 expressions. And then you've got basic animations for the time machine, which is I think 5 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it just goes around in a loop. Very, very easy to do. You've got Nigel Powers there, and Michael Caine is in the game. All of this stuff is going to be updated in the future. What I've done is I've just done them quickly, so you'll see that's quite a low quality image there of Michael Caine. I'll get a better quality of that when I do it later. So this is just me doing them very, very quickly, and then later I will enhance them. I'll come out of that, and we'll go into the game art. And what I'll do is I'll just show you the original artwork, playfield art, compared to what I created. Okay, so this isn't an exact replica of the Stern game. This is actually a redraw. Rom did this. He redrew this as close to the original Stern game as possible. So it's actually slightly worse than the Stern game. But it kind of gives you an idea of how horrific it was. Even the it's all squashed down as well because the ratio isn't right. So yeah, it's just horrific. So I couldn't stand it anymore. I've been playing this game for many years, and I've always played it with this artwork, but I had to do something about it, so I decided to do this. And this only took me a day to do as well. There's other things you have to do as well, like the sidewall artwork I had to do, which is just flowers, and I stuck in Liz Hurley there, and I stuck in Austin there with Heather Graham, and I duplicated it. So that's the sidewall artwork. That was pretty easy to do, and that was the beginning of it. I just found that pattern, and I thought I'll use that as a background and then blur it out slightly and then make it vibrant. Drop targets have all got different flowers on them. The arcade cabinet there, of course. The only thing that I haven't changed is the backglass. The only thing I've changed in the backglass is to add this area for the LCD and the Union flag in the speaker panels. Because I actually like this. A lot of people don't like this artwork, but what you need on a piece of artwork for the backglass is you want to basically show what's in the game. So this thing has everything that's in the game, including the time zone thing there, which is very important. But I like that, so I'm not going to change the artwork yet until I find a better alternative. That's staying. The raw materials are here, like the chicken leg, the charm. There's the original fat bastard. Then I cut his head out and then I enhanced it, and that is animated. All these are the flowers. There's a segment where, because Austin Powers is a photographer, so there's a part in the game where he takes sexy pictures of Liz Hurley. So these are the pictures that are used in the game when he's taking pictures of Liz Hurley. So yeah, that's it. So let's go back into the editor. So there's a lot of work that you have to do, and I've still got so much more to do because this game is way more complicated than I thought it was going to be. There's so much more to this that I wanted to improve. I certainly wanted to improve every single mode to make them more exciting. If we just go up to the rules that explain that every single, what I call secret mission now, has to be completed successfully. And when you complete it successfully, the main insert will turn pink. If it's not completed successfully, the insert will turn red. So you'll know straight away if you failed to get to Moonbase. Moonbase will only light, which is the final wizard mode, the very, very hard wizard mode, will only light at the scoop here if all of these have been completed and all of them are lit pink. So if any of them are red, you won't go to Moonbase, you'll go to VirtueCon, which is the easy wizard mode. So this game has 2 wizard modes, but getting to Moonbase is insanely difficult. It's insanely difficult to light all of these pink. It's achievable, but very, very difficult. Because once they're played, that's it. You can't play them again until you've gone to VirtueCon. The only one that can be replayed over and over again is the Time Machine one. So that's new in the rules. Also, this, like I said in the other part of the video, this is the laser launcher, which I've used much more efficiently in this game. This will now activate for this sexy skill shot and the shagadelic skill shot, but it also can be used to launch the ball. So if you want to launch the ball from this, you can do that when the ball drains. The ball drains, all you do is hit the action button, boom, as it's going through the bonus counter, and then it will launch from here. So it won't launch in the plunger lane. So it's the player's choice, and then the player can then aim what they want to aim for. So that's pretty cool. And also it can be used during the main mode, which is the laser, the giant laser here. But I've added a funny alternative. You're supposed to shoot this, which is the Washington, D.C. You can see it there, look. So that's Washington, D.C. That's what you're supposed to aim for. You're supposed to destroy Washington. That's the winning shot. But you can deliberately shoot here in the time machine and destroy the time machine. You get half the points, and it doesn't successfully complete the mission. So if you want to just get points and you're not worried about completing the mission, you can just shoot the time machine. Now what I was going to do is I was going to have the laser shot go into the time machine, go back in time, and do something funny in history like kill Hitler or kill Austin Powers on the crapper, which is what Scott references in the game, and that quote is in the game. But then I just thought, well, I'll just have the time machine just blow up, and then you get a funny comment from Dr. Evil. So that's new as well. That makes the game more interesting. Like I said, I'm just trying to find places to stick in gags, just to make this thing hilarious, and it is hilarious. There are things that Fat Bastard says, which just make you lose your shit because it just comes out of the blue and you just don't expect it. Anyway, so that's that for now. I've got a lot more work to do before I produce a commentary video, which is normally my last video before I move on to something else. I estimate probably another week of work, and then maybe I can squeeze in one more game before the end of the year. Anyway, just to remind you what our sponsor was today.
Big fat titties!
Thank you very much. Toodaloo.
Yeah.